Well, that didn't make any sense. It's hard to make a video when my eyeballs are on fire. Would you do me a kindness? Will you bring me a cup of coffee? Hello everyone, welcome back. I am excited to share another video with you. Today we are talking about how to budget on a coach's variable income. You and I both know that coaching can be a great income and be a great career, but it is very inconsistent. We have injuries, we have sickness, we have time changes, we have all kinds of issues that we deal with that affect our income. So I am going to teach you how to budget on a variable income. In my previous video, how to make 100K before 10 a.m. is super catchy and is true, but it doesn't account for all of the variables that can happen that affects our budget. It was just a very simple math equation to show you that it is possible to make a career out of coaching. All right, well, I am just going to be absolutely honest with you with my numbers. I did not always make, of course, what I make now. I've been coaching since 1994 and also am a double master. So I have paid a lot for my education. I have had a lot of experience. I am nowhere near a lot of coaches in the country. I don't want to toot my own horn here. However, it takes time to gradually build up to be able to command what you are comfortable with. And in the beginning, it's a little bit of a struggle. When I started coaching, I was in a recreation facility that was a county facility. So we were capped and very limited as to what we would be paid. As a matter of fact, colleagues in my area and in my region were paid almost upwards of twice, if not 3 times per hour what I was making. So my only option was to coach more. So I took on as many students as I possibly could. And as you know, you learn from every student. So it was actually a good thing because I learned very quickly from a lot of students. So just to be super transparent with you, I was not a budgeter. I didn't know much about finances. I didn't know the difference between a 401k and a Roth IRA or investments or anything. So I've decided that it was kind of important and affected my life in a very big way. So I kind of educated myself. I started by listening to Dave Ramsey podcasts, and I was inspired to become debt-free. And I will share with you in another video how I became debt-free on a coach's budget, on a limited coach's budget, quite frankly. All right, so first things first, I hate to use the word budget, just like I hate to use the word diet. So instead of diet, I say lifestyle or fuel or whatever you want to call it. So let's call this cost of living, okay? So rather than budget, let's just get the cost of living. How much do you cost as a human being to be on this planet? How much are all of your bills? I want you to take all of your bills, not just monthly, but things that you pay yearly, like your memberships to be a coach and insurance, etc. And I want you to have all of those numbers on a piece of paper. Anything that is a yearly cost, I want you to divide by 12. So now we have a monthly cost all in one place. Divide that by 4.3. That's going to give you a weekly cost of how much you cost to be a human being on this planet, right? Food, gas, electric, mortgage, you name it. We're going to put everything in one place. Then divide it by how many days a week you work. I usually work 6 days a week. I've been doing all the math with 6 days, so that's what I'm going to stick with. So when I was originally becoming debt-free and working on my debt snowball, I knew that I cost $91 a day. At the time that I was going through my debt-free process, and I cost myself $91 a day, that did not include my debt. And that I will address in a whole nother video as to why I didn't include it. There's a strategy there. So at the time I was charging $79 an hour. I knew if I worked an hour and a half a day, I was good. And there's a lot of comfort in that, knowing that, oh, I just have to work an hour a day or 2 hours a day or whatever it is in order to be able to pay my bills. Anything above that was gravy. So even now when times get tough and I start to panic a little bit, I sit down, I redo that list of my cost of living, and it really makes me feel better about things because then I actually have real numbers to work with. And your choices that you make in life change greatly when you have more information. So instead of panicking and worrying about money, which would then affect my level of service that I give my clients, or my sleep, or my anxiety, or anything like that, I can calm everything down because I know what's really going on. So when you have the bare minimum of your cost of living, then you can talk about the income. So when you have a variable income and you know, okay, I have to make this minimum, then if it fluctuates, it's not as stressful. Most people will tell you when you have a variable income that you should look at your history of income over the last 12 months and divide it by 12 and budget off of that monthly average. And I say, oh, no, contraire. What you need to do is you need to go find your lowest month and budget off that. Because what are you going to do if your lowest month is less than your average? Now you're in trouble that month. So yes, you should have a surplus, and yes, you should build up a savings account, but that's hard to do. So you need to make sure that you budget off of your lowest month, not an average, and not your highest for sure. So the method to the madness is, hopefully if you are budgeting off your lowest month, that you would have a very big surplus. Some months. I get that that won't happen all the time, and you need to squirrel that away. But you really need to make sure that when you are going through your cost of living, you absolutely include everything. That includes travel for education, that includes Starbucks, that's dinner with friends, because you want to know and work with real numbers. And if you actually know that number and it's already in your cost of living and it's comfortable, then you don't really have to change your standard of living in order to do what you want to do and have discretionary funds. So with that knowledge, it gave me a lot more power because I didn't have to put myself actually on a budget and feel restricted. Instead, I simply knew how much I was spending. Could my grocery bill go down? Absolutely. Could my eating out bill go down? Yes. The cost of gas, I don't have control of. So I didn't set that as a budget. I didn't do the envelope system with cash, but I did write everything down, and that really helped me too. So things that I could control, I tried to control a little better so I didn't feel completely deprived. I didn't cut it out altogether. I know that this is not a super sophisticated financial budgeting type video, but I just wanted to share with you what I did because I'm sure lots of you are struggling with variable income and variable expenses as well and trying to figure that out. So these are some recommendations that I have, and I hope that you have found this video helpful. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, but most importantly, have a nice day.